Spoiler warning for today's episode of Cinema on the Rocks. We will be delving into heavy spoiler territory with the new Marvel's What If episode. So if you've not watched the episode, proceed with caution or watch the episode before you listen to the episode today. Enjoy the show. Yo, what up? It's Jay coming back at you with Cinema on the Rocks. I got my guest with me today.
Shawntel, of course.
And we gonna get into some big stuff today. We're gonna talk a little bit about Venom and Carnage, what you need to know. We're gonna talk about the new What If episode, which was massive, and we got a few updates as well. You excited for Venom 2?
Super excited, man. I can't wait. I can't believe it's here already.
Same. Yo, I remember when they announced it, and I was like, oh man, June 2020? Yeah, we're gonna get this. It's gonna be cool. And it was like, oh, nope. We were supposed to get we were actually supposed to get Morbius with Jared Leto before Venom.
Right. And I'm still
uh,
upset about that because you said you wasn't really interested anymore. But maybe you changed your mind, but
what,
I'm
with
super
Morbius?
stoked about that. Yeah, I'm super stoked about that.
I mean, Jared Leto's a cool guy and all, and you know he did what he could with the Suicide Squad, Joker, which I still think they should have given him another shot for. But as far as an actor, I don't really have an opinion either way. I just don't know if they said, oh, we're going to make him the main character of the story and be like, oh, he can carry his own movie and people are going to get into seats to watch him specifically.
Fair enough. I don't. I don't
I
think
don't,
he's a bad actor. I think he was just handed a raw deal with the Joker.
well,
I think if it was his direction, I think he did way too much with the character.
I mean, let me put it this way. Sony has now, I mean, granted, with all the shuffling of dates and things like that, obviously this wasn't the intended release date, but they've now pushed that movie into January, which in the movie industry is like where you dump your trash.
Fair, fair. I'm just
But
glad it's still coming out.
that being said, there's been movies that people have expected to be trash that were released in January that actually did well, like Split.
Right.
So
Which I
who
actually
knows?
liked.
Yeah, Split was good. Uh, I'm gonna have to see another trailer before I watch Morbius, and really, like, I'll go see it because the idea of a like someone in the Marvel, Spider-Man universe is interesting. I just don't necessarily have the excitement that I did with Venom.
Fair enough.
Because I mean, we've seen Venom's pretty much been integrated with Spider-Man heavily because he's like his main. He's like the Ironmonger or the Mandarin to Tony Stark in terms of
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I mean, I guess people could say Green Goblin, but Spider-Man has so many rogues that are like main nemesis, you know? I'd like to see a Doc Ock movie.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah,
Especially
and
if they go in the direction of Alfred Molina, like the way he did it.
yeah,
Not
although
directly him, but like if they went in the direction of the way that he was acting, I wouldn't expect Alfred Molina to like do the movie.
I mean, I would totally be down to see a version that's not exactly the same, but in a similar vein to the one that they had with the game.
Gotcha. You're talking about the Spider-Man game on the PlayStation.
Yeah, where he's more of a mentor and he's like working with him, and you get to see more fleshed out than, oh, I don't really know who you are, but I'm, have a hour and a
Mm.
half talk to kind of know who you are.
No, I agree. I agree with that for sure. Like to because to be quite honest, and this is kind of off topic, well, maybe on topic, but I'm getting tired of all of these hero movies that that caters more or less to the novices of the genre because I love what they did with Spider-Man and Homecoming. because it
Right.
was no backstory. They didn't show him getting bit by a spider or any of that. And I think that also comes from Spider-Man being introduced in Civil War. But like I say, at the same time, it's like seeing Batman. Like every freaking time you see a Batman movie, they damn near always go through his origin story, and I'm getting tired of it. And as long as they stop doing that, then I'm fine.
I mean, technically speaking, we don't really get too much of a backstory with most. Well, I guess that's because they're technically villains, but we don't get much backstory with the Suicide Squad.
Right? Not at all.
We
Not at
get
all.
like a quick rundown of why they're in prison, but other than that,
Right.
maybe
Like
that's what
a real
everyone needs to
quick
start
blurt.
doing.
Right. That would be my opinion for movie creators and directors and all this other stuff because like I say, it just get like I'd be super excited to see the movie, and then they go through all the shit that I already know because I'm a fan of Batman, Spider Man, whoever, and I've seen this already. I feel like they're creating fan service for people who don't know who it is. Like stupid to me.
Right.
That's
You said
like I think
you had
you
a
say what?
blurt or something. You said like you were gonna go on like a blurt. Is this it?
Oh no, yeah, yeah, that was that was
Oh
it. But no, I was just gonna also say I don't know if you and I talked about it about the Ready Player Two book.
no, I don't think we have.
And again, spoiler alert, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but even with the Ready Player Two, I read Ready Player One way before the movie came out to get ready for the movie, and I loved it. It was dope, nostalgic. It had like a bunch of things in there I knew about, and then I saw the movie. The movie was dope to me. It could have been a little bit better, but it was super dope to me. And then I found out that Ready Player Two was coming out at the end of last year. So I got the book, and damn near the first, I want to say 5 or 6 chapters is nothing but fans that like service for the people who didn't read the first book. They're going back and reiterating things that happened from the first book. Like bro, I read the first book already. Why are you telling me more stuff from the first book when you should be bringing me in for the second book and making me want to continue to read? And that's, to be quite honest, the reason why I stopped reading it, because the only thing they was talking about is the shit that happened in the first book. But that's it. That's it. I'm off my soapbox.
Oh, okay. Um, there was something I was gonna bring up. Just one specific thing. Before we get into like the meat of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Uh, you said you didn't know anything that happened with the Netflix event, right?
Nope, I didn't even watch it. As a matter of fact, I'm about to pull it up right now.
So, um, they showed off like a minute or two clip from season 4 of Stranger Things.
Really?
Kind of like, kind of like, you ever heard of House on Haunted Hill?
Of course. Who hasn't?
So basically, I feel like there's a way they can continue Stranger Things without the kids necessarily, in a way
Uh-huh.
that still makes it somewhat scary. Where they kind of have like a haunted house almost kind of deal,
Gotcha.
which is a good direction to go away from the monsters and stuff to make it even more scary
Right.
as the kids grow up. That's the only thing they really showed with that from it. Netflix already confirmed there's going to be a season 3 of Witcher,
Okay.
and then they've also announced that they're going to do a second anime film after the success of the first one,
Of,
which I
of
haven't
what?
watched. Of Witcher. There's a Witcher anime movie on Netflix.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, it's, I guess, have you played the games?
I played like the first one just a little bit.
Well, whoever his mentor is that's going to show up in the second one, Vesemir or whatever, this anime was like showing him as a young, like in his prime or whatever.
Uh,
And something that's somewhat controversial, at least to some people, they're going to make a kids show.
really?
Yeah. I don't know exactly what kids show they're going to try to do with it.
Right.
A kids and family series set in the world of Witcher.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. With that being the case, then I understand that it's just set in the world of The Witcher, which is dope.
Yeah. Um, and then they also showed a clip from their new movie coming out with an all-star cast. I don't know if you've heard of Don't Look Up.
Mm-mm. Is that the
So
one with
it's
The Rock and
no, that one's Red Notice. This one
ah,
is a story about astronomers trying to save the world from an impending asteroid collision, which has a ridiculous cast. They got Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer
what?
Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Jonah Hill, Ron Perlman, Timothy Chalamet, Ariana Grande, Kid Cudi, Kate Blanchett,
Wait
and
a minute.
Tyler
Wait.
Perry.
Pause. They
Mhm.
got Kid Cudi and Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Holy moly! Yeah,
The
yeah,
direct
yeah.
the director is Adam McKay, who did like The Big Short and the Anchorman movies.
Chris Evans is in it.
I don't know about Chris Evans.
That's what it says right here.
Oh, well, the thing it showed me is the main. He might be a cameo.
Wow. When does this shit come out?
It says Netflix December 24th, but in select theaters on December 10th.
Oh, wait a minute. So we didn't say that. So it's a Netflix produced movie that's going to the theater.
Right.
That's big. That's big.
Pretty.
Because a lot of people were saying, including myself, that Netflix is gonna fall. Not tremendously, but Netflix is gonna kind of fall off when Disney Plus came out and then Apple TV Plus came out. Like the whole hoopla around those two streaming services coming out. And then after they came out, I saw all of the movies that Netflix was putting out on their streaming service. Like what's the name of the movie where they couldn't die? They like kept coming back.
The Old Guard.
The Old Guard. Like that to me is what started it off. And then that's when the Jamie Foxx movie was supposed to come out, which again could have been better. They could have done so much, like so many different things with that
Oh, you
movie.
mean Project Power?
Yeah, they could have done so many things with that, and I was super excited for it. But either way, getting off topic, that's big for Netflix. If they're making a movie and it's going to the theater, that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's like I think a 2.5 hour film.
Holy moly!
I mean, it's a big cast.
Exactly. Imagine being in the movie theater though and hearing that opening sound for Netflix. That's gonna be cold.
Yeah, I don't know. I I don't know if I'll watch it in theaters or not. Granted,
I will.
well, granted. Also, think about this. Who knows if it's even going to come out to any theaters around us? Because Select is a very select thing. Charlotte's not one of those places.
Nah, Charlotte normally like some of the things that I've been looking forward to. Like you and
Well,
I talk
I think when they to select, my brain automatically goes New York City, LA, maybe Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah. Now I get what you're saying. I'm just hoping that it gets it because like I say, a lot of the things that I've saw like in the media, and I was like, oh my God, I hope our movie theater get it. Concord has gotten it. Like the Labyrinth, the Harry Potter anniversary, and especially the 35th anniversary of the Transformers. Like I didn't even know it was going to be here, and I went to the movie theater one day and I saw the poster for it, and I was like super stoked. So I didn't see the Harry Potter, but I saw the Labyrinth and Transformers.
Also, speaking of another movie that actually got a limited release that was in a theater here, was their Army of the Dead movie, which
Oh,
they showed an official trailer at this event for Army of Thieves.
right. I'm like, I still got a plan. It's like 3 hours and some change.
What is?
The Tundam, the Netflix joint.
Oh,
So they're up to red notice now. I was just gonna skim through it, but I saw the character in the Army of the Dead joint. So I guess they was talking about that movie that's gonna come out. Or the show is like a series, right?
Army of Thieves is a movie.
I don't know why I keep thinking that it's a series.
I honestly, I watched the trailer and I'm like, I'll watch it, but don't really have any excitement for it, to be quite honest, because he was probably my least interesting character.
Me too. And that's why I was wondering, like, why the hell they're making a whole movie about this guy? I
I
mean,
mean, look,
I like heist movies, but
yeah,
come on, man. I'm about to look at the trailer though.
they also uh, when I talked about Tiger King season 2 last week, they said it was going to be, like early next year. Well, at this event, they said it's going to premiere November 17th of this year.
Nice, nice. Is this the one with Nicolas Cage in it?
No, this is the documentary, like with him in it.
Holy moly! It's another doc. What about the movie?
I don't know about the movie. They might have canceled that just to make a second season instead.
Uh, I'll still watch it though because I kind of stumbled upon Tiger King, the first doc, because I hate being on social media and then somebody hype up a show or hype up a movie, and then I feel like I fall into that category of looking at shit that everybody else is watching. So I just so happened to stumble upon Tiger King, and I was like, wow, this is amazing because one of the places was actually in North Carolina, a big cat sanctuary. Same thing with what was it called? Don't kill cats or don't hurt cats or
Big
some shit
Cat
like that.
Rescue or so. Oh, you mean Don't F with Cats?
Yeah, that.
I
I
watched
stumbled
that.
upon that.
I didn't stumble upon that. I was told that was a show, and so I watched it, and I was like, man, I really disliked this show.
Mm. Yeah, it was
Also,
crazy.
I just found the people that were talking about the whole thing to be. I mean, granted, the whole situation was messed up, but the people had interviewed, I just found them to be really annoying.
Gotcha. No worries.
Yeah,
Back on track though, I'm looking at the Army of Thieves trailer, and it got old girl from the Fast and the Furious franchise in it.
and Game of Thrones.
And Game of Thrones. Yeah, she did play in Game of Thrones, didn't she?
Yeah, she got her
She was
head
with
chopped
Khaleesi.
off.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was with Khaleesi.
Yeah.
She's like a translator or something.
Now
But
there's
looking at the trailer, I might just watch it though.
yeah
It's better
there's
than what I thought it was gonna be.
there's two major things though that for me I am intrigued by with with it or with the new Netflix shows coming up. One is Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. They had the opening title sequence for it,
Yes.
which after that title sequence thing, I was like, all right, well, there's a lot of things in here that are hyping up other people who have watched the series because of what it shows in just the title sequence. So I was like, okay, I have to go back. I have to watch the show. I'm currently, I think, on session like 14
Uh-huh.
of it, and it's good. And as I keep watching, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see the live action stuff and understanding what that is showing. That's
Yes.
from the animated, and it's pretty cool.
Yes. This is gonna be so dope, bro. Like as soon as I found out that at first I was weary because it was Netflix. Again, it was Netflix.
Well,
But when I found out they was doing the live action of Cowboy Bebop, man, I think I had a drink in my hand and almost dropped the drink that I had in my hand. And then when you sent me the link to watch the opening credits, bro, it's so dope. As a matter of fact, after I finish watching this trailer, I'm gonna watch the opening sequence again. Speaking of opening sequences, again, kind of off topic before we get there, but did you see that Sony yesterday put out a video of the Birth of Carnage from the movie? I didn't watch
yeah,
it.
I don't know. Oh, it's like some 4 minute like thing, isn't it?
Right. I didn't watch it because I didn't want to blow it for the theater.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people who've been reacting to like clips and things like that from the movie, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch any of this. I don't really want to
Right.
see what they got coming.
Right. Me either. So I
Um,
didn't watch it, but I saw
yeah.
it though.
There's one other thing that they showed. that I didn't really know anything about, and I kind of still don't know anything about, but I definitely am interested to see what it is. They're
Uh-huh.
doing. They showed first look at the Sandman, which is a Neil Gaiman DC comic book series.
Hmm.
I don't really
It's
know what it's
supposed to be a
about.
movie,
No, this is a show. Uh,
but not the Sandman from Marvel, right?
no, like Sandman, like it's some dark, like I don't know. I'm gonna find up the synopsis, I guess, for it. It was some British. Wait, what? I don't know. See if I can find a synopsis here for it. In 1916, Dream, the king of stories and one of the seven endless, is captured in an occult ritual. After being held captive for 105 years, in 2021, he escapes and sets out to restore order to his kingdom of the dreaming.
Hmm. Oh, so like Sandman, as in the Sandman of Dreams.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I might check it out after I watch these two trailers. But bro, I keep flip flopping. We was talking about Stranger Things. Have you and I talked about the directors of Stranger Things, the creators of Stranger Things, about them being from Durham?
No, but I do know that or they either filmed it or they had inspiration for the Starcourt Mall from Durham's Mall.
Yep, because the brothers grew up in Durham, like specifically during the summers, and especially the first season was based off loosely of the things they used to do, like going to creeks and all this other stuff around Durham. And the only reason why I keep bringing it up is because I'm from Durham, and I just think that is dope. But back on topic. Back on topic.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the major things that they ended up having. Um, for the Tadum, which is a
Right.
real that's the official name of what that sound is, and it's kind of weird.
Oh my God, I didn't put that together until you just said it. Because that's what I was just talking about. Imagine me in the movie theater and that ta-dum, like
Yeah,
comes on in the speakers, like even Dolby, like that's gonna be crazy.
that is quite crazy.
Yeah, but
Uh,
hopefully, moving on from Netflix, but hopefully they'll have that Don't Look Up in the theater around us.
yeah, that
I'll
would be
even I'll
cool.
even say I'll even say if it's really not in our city and it's like kind of like a city over, I would still probably go and see it just because of not only the cast, but again, it's Netflix being in the movie theater. It's pretty dope.
Right. Uh, transitioning over into like Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
There's something. Uh, real quickly, someone was interviewing the new Marvel Studios president. Um, on what they heard, the amount of projects that are currently in development right now for them.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they were saying that there were 35 projects, but then they corrected the interviewer and said that there are currently only 31 projects that are in process right now.
Are you referring to the thing you was telling me about they added like four more movies or something?
No, like they're currently like just in general, they have 31 projects they are currently in development with.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, that's a lot of projects. But then you talk about the like 9 or 10 movies they have announced right now, plus all their TV shows and specials. I was like, oh, it's not as mind-boggling as I thought it would be.
Fair enough. Because I didn't know that was referencing the Disney Plus shows as well. I
Yeah,
was thinking that
yeah,
you
like
was meaning,
yeah, in
yeah,
general.
I thought you was, yeah, yeah. But
And
that's cool.
the last little thing I want to, just in terms of Disney Plus, they announced Book of Boba Fett to start streaming December 29th.
You said filming?
No, it'll be streaming the first episode on the 29th of December,
Yes. What about
which
what
is the
about
same day that Hawkeye ends.
which is dope because I love the way they keep keeping us up with shows.
Yeah.
Um, I was surprised. I was surprised that Visions, the whole season, like dropped. But again, you and I was talking about it being an anthology. So I see the reason why they would release that, as one entity as opposed to having it as a series.
Yeah.
Is there any news on Mandalorian, or is that coming out next year?
I think Mandalorian might be. They want to have it out next year. I don't know if they've started filming it yet. Um,
Gotcha.
I know Kenobi just finished filming,
Okay.
so that's cool. That means that'll be out too next year.
Right.
Still no. Oh wait, the only other thing that's finished filming is Andor, which seems like it's taken forever for that thing to be done. They started filming
That's
that before Mandalorian season 1.
Jeez, man.
But that's it with Star Wars news kind of for now. There's not really much there. So getting into we'll go ahead and get into what ifs episode because Venom we can save that for last.
Right, for sure.
What if or Ultron won? This is like the quintessential what people wanted to see from the Age of Ultron movie. This is the Age of Ultron.
Exactly. Exactly. But on steroids. On
Right.
steroids.
Right. Last week, people, when they saw the glimpse of him, they're like, well, how in the hell did he get the Soul Stone? Because he obviously has nobody he loves or anything like that. Well, we find out, wow. And
Right.
Jesus Christ, Vision, you should have done that in the Infinity War where you could have saved a lot of people trouble.
Oh, I think that was the reason why they did that. Because it was like Thanos coming through and then like just one thing, like zap, and he was done.
Yeah. Well, no one expected that. I mean, come on.
At all.
I
At
mean,
all.
he was perfectly balanced after that point.
Hmm. I
But
think it was
man,
the whole show. Like when you hit me up the day before and he was like, bro, the what if episode is coming out tomorrow. If what I heard is true, it's gonna blow the lid off my head. And I was like, bro, this must be like a dope freaking episode. Because you know me, like I don't be on social media or anything like to see, like
right.
I don't even like watch the promo for the next episode because like I say, I like to watch it when I watch it. So when you said that, I was like, dang, this must be either A, something's gonna be like super, super dope, or when the watcher is gonna really come down and intervene and he's not supposed to. But it was both. Like damn near the whole time I was watching the episode, my mouth was open. Like
Dude,
it
and
was
then
it
he
was so
went
dope.
Watcher ended up going Super Saiyan.
Right. We put on his little armor and all that. Oh,
Yeah, I was
we
like,
forgot to say
oof.
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Because
Yep.
if
I
you
mean,
guys
like,
haven't seen this episode,
right. That probably should have been. I probably should have said that before we start getting into that.
absolutely, man. Because we don't want to ruin it for nobody. I think what we need to do, and even if this is a banter not for the audience, but what we need to start doing is at the very beginning of our episode is give a disclaimer of a spoiler warning.
That being
Because
said, I could record a line later after we get done with this, an actual line I can put in front of it, the episode.
absolutely, man. Because again, we're here to enjoy these series and the culture, and we don't want to spoil it for any of you guys. So again, my apologies, both of our apologies if we didn't say spoiler alert too quickly for the what if episode. But if you haven't seen it, I'll say stop right now and go ahead and watch it.
And I'll also say, from this point forward, most likely any episodes we do on a weekly basis, we will most likely be, well, not most likely, we will be reviewing and going into very big detail on episodes. So hopefully you watched it. Otherwise, wait until you've watched it and then listen to this.
Exactly, exactly. So moving on. But yeah, he like armored up and got his fight on. And okay, so I don't want to go ahead of you. So go ahead and say what you're going to say about the episode.
All right. So I'm going to put this out there first off. Unfortunately, they didn't get James Spader back to voice
Right.
Ultron, which is you know,
Sucky, sucky
well, to be
at best.
fair, he was. I'm pretty sure they started getting people back for the shows. Most of the actors who've been voicing, they were, recording their lines, probably 2016 and on. So, he was way back in 2014 when he did the voice. They're not going to bring him back. He's got the Blacklist show to do. I don't think he has time to
Right.
record all those lines. But I will say they did a good job with the person that they got to voice it,
I
which
agree.
makes sense because it's this Ross Mark. I don't know how to say his last name, but he did the voice impression in the movie for Red Skull, Infinity War, and for the Red Skull episode. So he can do voice
Oh, okay. I know you're
impersonations
talking
pretty
about.
well.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Also, never thought I'd see Vision's face in the okay,
Ultron armor.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Having the Ultron's face cover over but you still see Vision's mouth moving, I think was an animation thing they shouldn't have gone with. I'm gonna be quite honest, because it's really weird to see his mouth moving, but you see Ultron's face. It's like you could have just, you know, made it where it's just his like a red light lighting up every time he talks instead.
For sure.
Just a little
Yeah,
nitpick there.
fair enough. I think
But
what they did. I think what they did with it was pretty dope. Because
also, oh, okay.
yeah, I feel like okay. So when they showed the part when the Watcher was saying, well, in our reality, the Avengers stop Ultron from getting the Vision's body, but in this reality, that didn't happen, and then he got into the Vision's body. I didn't necessarily see that Ultron that was standing there in front of I'll call it a casket, but when he was standing there, I didn't see him as Ultron with like the way we know him. So if he wasn't there yet, because he didn't really truly get that Ultron look until a couple of iterations after he was created in the Avengers Tower. So when was it? It was like right when he was in like the little kennel, like where he was like making all of the robots. That's when he was bigger and all the red was there, and he had like the little horns on the side. That's when he really had that face of Ultron. So I don't know if that part where he got like to where Vision's body was, it was that vision of him with the horns on the side. So if when he got the Infinity Stones as Vision, and then the armor he put around himself was ultimately that Ultron look, I think that was dope. Now, if it wasn't that, then I get what you're saying. It was kind of like overkill because we know you're Ultron and you got Vision's body, so it's going to be either or. So I dig that.
I just as a little bit off topic, but still within the realm of Ultron. They had something within their concept art for the Age of Ultron that would have been way more dope had they done it. And I'd
Mm-hmm.
hopefully like to see maybe this happen with the next episode. Um, Granted, they won't really need to do this because he's got Infinity Stones. But in the early concept art, the final battle between Avengers and Ultron in the movie, they originally had it where he was going to call all of his robots back to him and make like this 100-foot tall, just Ultron like mega with all of them. And I was like, that would have been cool. And then they didn't do it, and he got put out like a punk little bitch. And that was I was like, oh gosh, this is
Gotcha.
not
Damn.
my not my Ultron.
Not my Ultron, right?
But
Not
no,
my
I
Ultron.
thought the episode was pretty great. Didn't saw the whole switcheroo with Hawkeye letting go and Nat having to be him sacrificing himself. Saw that coming from a mile away.
So did I. So
Parallel
did I.
to Endgame.
I dislike when when movies do that. Like the way they did it in Endgame, to where they was more or less fighting over who was going to sacrifice themselves. Because to be quite honest, at that point, it's like, well, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? But
Man, they're gonna
and,
kill
and
each other trying to sacrifice themselves.
right, I even thought that too. Like both of them were going to fall off. But like in shows like the latest episode of What If, you could clearly see what was about to happen. He was already tired. He was already giving up. So why not just go ahead and sacrifice yourself? But let's talk about that though. That freaking scene when he did sacrifice himself was so freaking dope. It was all going in slow motion, and you can see him take the arrow out of the quiver, and it was like dope to me. Super dope.
Oh, it was cool.
Yeah.
And it made us realize real quickly how much we need how much I thought I didn't need a Hawkeye with a metal arm because he was just flying arrows out of that.
Right. And if
Also,
I'm
I
not
never
mistaken,
saw
that's from
him
the comic book
reload
as
any
well.
arrows.
In the movies?
No, no. I mean, the movies they have a whole SNL sketch about him running out of arrows, going, "Oh, couldn't be bothered, couldn't help. I ran out of arrows."
I didn't even see that.
Oh no, and Jeremy Renner, it was when he hosted a Saturday Night Live right after Avengers. He played himself, and
Oh,
he's like,
fair
"Oh,
enough.
can't do it." Um, that being said, there. Let me ask you. I'm gonna see if you can figure this one out. There is something in there that, even though it is a different like reality, there is a villain who can now come back in the MCU if they choose to go that route.
Oh yeah, you talking about Zoloff?
Yeah, because he still has another copy somewhere in the MCU
Right,
of himself.
right. And as a matter of fact, even before this episode, I always felt like that because if he uploaded his consciousness to more or less a network, just like Vision and Ultron, then of course he could still be there. And but the only thing I'm hoping though is if they do decide to bring him back, they bring him back in like kind of like the body style that they have in the comic book. So where like the screen is kind of like in it, like Krang, Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that's what I hope they would do. And that's
Oh,
if they decided to bring him back.
it'd be even crazier though.
Was that
Obviously, there's still Ultron like drone like parts around, because considering the fact we saw one in Homecoming. Imagine
right?
somebody's like, "Oh, I know where Zola is. I'm going to download him onto this Ultron bot that I've pieced back together."
Right. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Even if it was the Tinkerer.
Oh,
What if
that
it was
could
the
happen.
Tinkerer?
That
Because
could.
of
Yeah.
course, yeah. They was gathering up things from the Shatari and all the other Avenger like fallouts. Like, what if it was the Tinkerer? Because the Tinkerer really did not shine in that Spider-Man movie.
I mean, I
He
thought
was
he did
he.
pretty well for what he had.
I guess, but if the Tinkerer has a bigger presence in the comic book, and I know these movies are based off of the comic book, but the Tinkerer definitely had a bigger presence in the comic book. So they could even do something in for well, no, that's gonna be like too much. But either way, that's kind of a thought like to put out there. Like the Tinkerer could find, different parts from the Ultron bots and then ultimately find, you know, Zola and then like put him into that robot. That'll be pretty dope.
Right. This
Because they're
episode
they're both
definitely.
villains.
Yeah. They're definitely both villains. I don't know if Tinkerer necessarily. I mean, in the comics he must have been a bigger villain, but in this it was like, yeah, not really.
Right. And I was surprised. I was surprised that the Tinkerer was with Vulture in that movie. Because again, and see, that's what I say. Now I know the Tinkerer couldn't necessarily hold down an entire movie by himself as a villain, but at the same time, they should have made it to where instead of him being somebody's lackey and inferior to the main villain, which was Vulture, that they should have put the Vulture and the Tinkerer kind of on the same pedestal to where they respected each other, but the Tinkerer was still helping the Vulture. That way, if something does spin off, he's not like this sniveling, conniving, like minion of somebody. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that just again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, but this this is gonna this makes me excited to see what they do with the last episode. Which, by the way, a lot of people are already theorizing what the episode is going to be called.
What is that?
What if the Watcher intervened?
Ha, that would be dope.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, in endless possibilities, it's not like since it's going to be a continuing storyline from the last episode. It's not like it's because that's something that hasn't happened.
You had cut out, man. You said what?
I said it's like there's no other storyline they're going to add to it other than what's been told already.
Absolutely. No, I dig it. And another thing about the What If series, remember way before the series came out, and you sent me the list of the episodes.
Yeah,
They're saying that that's kind of loosely about like what these episodes are, but as you noticed, if you remember the series, the Watcher started out and like he was like a silhouette in the cosmos. And then the further along in the series we got, the more we got to see of the Watcher. But then it was a couple of episodes where he got further and further back. And what they're saying is that they like mixed up the order of the episodes, and they said they think they did that because they wanted the Party Thor episode to come before the episode that we got yesterday, because of course that showed what are they even calling him, like Super Ultron with the with the Infinity
Infinite
Stones,
Ultron.
Infinite Ultron. So they wanted to put that before the episode that we just saw yesterday to kind of, I guess, put us in the mood of like, wow, like is this going to be coming again? So I just want to let you know that like that the list you showed me was the reason why it was kind of like out of order.
Right. Yeah. Originally, Party Thor was supposed to be the 5th episode
Right.
in that list, at least. Whether or not that was actually the case, and Zombies was supposed to be the 7th episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Also,
went back
what
and watched it. The list you gave me.
what a way to start off an episode. We get a happy Thor episode that ends somewhat dramatically, but it was mostly happy. And then we start off an episode where he goes, "This one, this one breaks my heart," and it's like, "Oh my gosh, this is not going to be
Right.
a good episode." Well, this is going to be a great episode, but this is going to hurt.
Right. Speaking of which, man, speaking of which, what did you feel or what did you think when Infinite Ultron killed uh Captain Marvel?
I mean, he's got all the Infinity Stones. I mean, I wasn't entirely surprised. I was surprised, honestly, she was putting up as much of a fight as she was. But also, don't bring the man to a core of a planet. Like, you just killed the planet by doing that.
Right.
Because
I
I
would
mean,
still
even if he didn't explode it, they've literally put a hole through the planet. That thing ain't gonna survive much longer. You just let the entire air and heat out of the planet.
right. But I was still kind of
Um,
shocked, like, oh my God, like he did this so easily. But of course he had all of them. But even still, the reason why I was like, oh my God, he like really did this is because Thanos had the gauntlet on when he was fighting Captain Marvel in Endgame. And the only way he was able to kind of like fend her off was to take the Power Stone out of the gauntlet and then punch her. And then he put it back into the gauntlet. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm also guessing Gamora is probably dead in this universe already
Has to be.
because he had the Soul Stone. Also,
Right.
yo, yo, the Galactus nod there, bro.
Yes, when he bit the galaxy,
Yeah,
that's exactly
dude.
what came to my mind as soon as he did that. I was
Well,
like, wait,
and the way his head was, and the way he chomped down, he looked like Galactus does
Galactus.
for a brief moment
Exactly.
there. And then what else? What did he do that was just crazy? Uh, okay. Have you ever heard of Annihilation?
The comic book?
And yeah, well, it was in the MCU. Like, it's a race of aliens that pretty much worshipped him as a god.
Yeah,
I feel like him invading other planets kind of nodded to that,
for
even if it
sure.
was really subtle. Which,
I'm
oh,
actually
it was called Annihilation Wave.
gotcha. This is what I was thinking about. But I'm watching it right now, and it's legit at that part where he just bit the galaxy.
Yeah.
And again, I think they did it on purpose.
Oh yeah.
What if
No,
that's foreshadowing?
nothing Marvel does within these TV shows have ever been anything less than on purpose.
Legit. I just paused it. And you know what? I'm gonna send it to you. Legit, I
It's
just paused it, and it looked uncanny. It looked just like fucking Galactus.
I so I get up early in the morning to watch these for the most part, except for the Thor episode. I didn't get up early for that one. Um and for the most part, I'm gonna be honest, other than the zombies episode, I didn't really get really excited in the morning when I watch the episodes because I'm just tired. I tell you not, I shit you not. I woke up and I watched that episode yesterday, and I was like, "Yo, yeah, bro, yeah, I was like,
So
"Damn,
hype,
yeah, that looks exactly like Galactus." There's
right?
nothing about that that's subtle.
They did that. They legit did it on purpose.
Yeah, but ending, final comments on the What If episode before we get into the Venom stuff because I know you got to get going soon. Uh,
For sure.
Great episode. Can't wait to see next week's. Doctor Strange, awesome.
Man, it's so much to unpack with this what if episode that this the episode today for you and I could have legit been only about the what if. Like that's how much is in that. So we couldn't really talk about everything, but again, if y'all haven't watched it yet, go out and watch it because it's a dope episode. I'll say this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan.
Mhm.
If you were to watch just one, not including the finale, because of course we haven't seen that yet, but if you could only watch one episode of the episodes that's come out already, I think that this would be the episode that you wanted to watch.
Uh, I'm gonna say as a as if I were to only ever watch one episode of this season, that we've seen so far, I'd probably go with the zombie episode.
Really? Why's that?
I feel like if I hadn't watched any of the other episodes and I'd only watched this one, I probably would have been somewhat confused.
Right. With that aside, not no confusion, no nothing, just entertainment purposes, and it's a what if episode to where this is canon, and this is what's happening in a different reality type thing.
I
And you
probably
still
still
stick
would
with zombies, but
I probably would still stick with zombies just for the fact that let's say that this episode was what was the first thing to get me into the What If series. I would be very disappointed with the rest of it.
oh, of
At
course.
least with
But see, that's
zombies, if that was the intro, I'd be like, okay, I'm not at the high levels, but I'm not also as disappointed with the episodes that are not as good.
right, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So there are no other episodes. If you could pick just one episode out of this entire series so far, and that was the only episode, none to come or anything, I feel like, and again, your opinion, my opinion, I feel like the Infinite Ultron episode was the best so far. I feel like definitely Zombies is the next best episode. So
Like,
yeah,
say there was only one episode and there was not going to be another one.
absolutely.
I'd still probably stick with zombies because it leaves it open ended enough, but I can also be like it ends in a way where there could be more to it, or well, that universe is gone.
Fair enough.
This one is got a cliffhanger, you know, there's you want to see what happens next because otherwise they leave it on a cliffhanger enough to where it's like, okay, they're
It's
setting up
definitely going to be
something
another
else,
one.
and then you just don't have another one, and you're like, wow, that sucks.
Right. No, I dig that.
Yeah, but you love the episode. It's the best one that you've so far of the series.
Yes, for me it is. It's the best one so far.
Unfortunately, we probably won't get another season until 2023.
Of course.
But let's get into the main meat of today's podcast. The best for last, Venom and Carnage.
Yes. Which we will be going to see later today.
Which I found out. I re-looked at my ticket. For some reason, I thought it was a 6 p.m. showing. It's not. It's 7.
I was just about to look at my ticket.
Yeah, for
Yep.
Northlight.
7 p.m. Yep. I'm super excited, man. That's first and foremost.
Now, for anyone who doesn't understand what's going, or what Venom 2 is, or if you've forgotten Venom 1, which I won't fault you for, wasn't exactly the most memorable of what happened in the movie, other than him, I'll put a little thing here. This movie picks up after the original, and its mid-credit teaser, where Eddie, after he's, you think the Venom symbiote's gone, but he's not. They go to a prison because he's back reporting, and he's going to talk to a serial killer named Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, and that god-awful red wig that looked like a damn clown. That's kind of where this picks up.
I would say not, sir, because he's still interviewing Cletus.
Right. And then also, we're going to be lethal protectors, killing criminals in San Francisco, and then that god-awful rolling down the street like a turd in the wind.
To me, that's the most memorable part of the movie.
Yeah, and they put that in the trailer.
Right. But yeah, man, I'm excited. My first gripe, and again, I don't know if anybody knows about this, so spoiler. But my only gripe, and of course, it's a movie situation, but I don't like the way Venom or Carnage is created in this one. Like with him biting his hand and that I've tasted blood before, and this doesn't taste like blood. Like I don't like that.
What I'm reading here, I mean, they have to change it because of the comics way it was done. Where in the comics, Cassidy was Eddie's cellmate in prison. Well, obviously Eddie's not in prison. And then when the Venom symbiote broke Eddie out, because I guess it wasn't in him when he went to prison, it left its spawn behind, and the newborn bonded with Cassidy.
Right. Yeah. And see, that's the way I would have rather it been. So, for instance, say in the interim of movie one and this new movie, you know how Sony or any movie really does, like they send out like sometimes um like a little comic book or something, like that'll fill you in, like this is what happened. Say for instance that, during the interim, Eddie Brock was, fighting crime or doing whatever, and he's like an anti-hero because he still eats people. And they showed where, once he like was not Venom, he like transformed back to himself. They saw that it was Eddie Brock. So they wanted to imprisonate him, and he's in prison, and he just so happened to be thrown into the same cell that of the person that he was interviewing. Like how ironic is that? And then the whole thing is again, like the symbiote trying to comes out and break Venom out or Eddie Brock out, and then he leave his spawn there. I think that would have been a better. Well, you know what? Before I even get there, we could probably talk about this next week because we haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going way too deep about my gripe. So I'll just say this. I'll just see what happens in the movie, and then I'll give my opinion on how they should have had him be created.
Comic-Con, they had a copy of Eddie's notebook from
You
his
you were still going
investigative.
out. It was still going
Huh?
out. I couldn't hear anything you said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It said that there was a copy of Eddie's notebook from his
Uh-huh.
investigative journalism work on display at New York Comic Con, revealing the depths of Cassidy's depravity. Pretty much the same comic book backstory that was in Maximum Carnage. Now, would you like to see what it says?
Of course.
All right, I'm gonna read this as best as I can. The Brooklyn orphanage he grew up in was destroyed by a fire that killed the disciplinary administrator, a revenge attack by Cassidy. He pushed his grandmother to her death down a flight of stairs before going on a huge massacre in New York City and dug his mother's grave up. Thrown into Riker's maximum security penitentiary, where he is now, where he managed to kill another 11 people. And then it says, Eddie also notes that Cassidy killed his mother's dog with a drill and pushed a girl who rejected him in front of a bus, killing her. That's some messed up stuff there.
Right. And to piggyback off of that, first and foremost, Cletus Cassidy is like one of the most insane people in the Marvel universe for the comics, of course. Um, and another cool tidbit and facts is, of course, the Venom symbiote. That's not the only person. Eddie Brock is not the only person that the Venom symbiote has been on. Of course, he's been on Spider-Man, so on and so forth. But as far as Carnage is concerned, though, Carnage has only bonded with Cletus Cassidy, and to the point of to where Venom, like if you do like the whole sound frequency or fire, like he can separate from Eddie Brock, and then Eddie Brock just become like just a normal person again. The symbiote is so enthralled into Cletus Cassidy that it's like in his bloodstream as opposed to just being a parasite, which to
Right.
me is like super dope. Another cool tidbits for everybody that don't know, maybe I'll do, but of course you know that the reason why Carnage is more powerful than Venom is because any offspring of the first symbiote, the second one is much stronger than the original one. But the thing about Carnage, Carnage has had quote unquote kids as well. One being Toxin,
Which,
and
oh, I was
I
gonna
don't know.
say
You go ahead.
there's a character in Venom 2 that's gonna be in it who's a detective who is
Yep.
Patrick Mulligan, who eventually in comics becomes Toxin. Did you hear that?
Yeah. I was about to say, yep. That's exactly who that character is in the comic books, and that's what I was going to say though, is that Toxin and all of Carnage's offspring, they are not more powerful than Carnage, which is kind of crazy.
Yep. I just can't wait to see what this rumored post-credit scene is going to be all about.
You and I both.
Because
I lose.
you said that there was people saying there was no post-credit scene, and then there's other people saying there was. Well, the people who got to see it like 2 days ago have confirmed there is a post-credit scene. So we'll have to wait and see, which luckily is only going to be another several hours.
Right. And that's another thing we was talking about on another episode of the podcast is that I don't see why Sony would deviate from having a post credit scene when the first movie had a post credit scene. And of course, they're trying to set this up to be a universe. So maybe, maybe what we're gonna see is different than what, the other audience saw, like the fan screening. Hopefully it's not, but yeah, I'm just like you, man. I can't wait to see what they do.
The only thing that I want this movie not to do, which would seem like a really dumb way for them to do it, is I don't want to see Carnage get killed. As much as he is a serial killer and is crazy, I'd rather not see him die, because if they ever do cross over with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I'd like to see Tom Holland try to go up against him.
Of course, and that's one of the things to where Venom not necessarily started being a good guy, but Venom and Spider-Man actually had to team up to defeat Carnage.
And to be fair, considering we haven't had Spider-Man in this at all, there's no deep-seated hatred of Spider-Man. So it's not like they're going to be. I mean, they both they'll both go after bad guys. It's just he's more lethal about it than Spider-Man.
Right, right. But
But
yeah,
we'll
man,
just
I'm super
have to
excited.
wait and see. Oh, you know what would be really crazy?
What's that?
They probably won't do it just because of how short this is, and it's mainly focusing on Carnage. But I would love to see their home world.
Oh yeah, yeah. I highly doubt they would do that, but that definitely would be dope.
Just imagine, you know, their god Null or whatever is his name.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Imagine
no.
seeing that shit on screen.
It
But
would be dope.
yeah, but I'm excited for it,
Hell yeah. I'm super
and
stoked.
I think with that we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode just because it's already 10:32.
Absolutely, man.
But hopefully no one got spoiled by anything, and if you did, you should have listened to the spoiler warning at the beginning of this episode that I'm about to put. But
Right.
until next week, it's been a great episode. Thanks for being
Absolutely,
on.
man.
All
All
right.
right, man. I see you later today. I see you later today.
I will see you later today.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace out, audience.
See y'all later, man.